What's up, guys? Jesse Burdick here for PowerWOD.com and Morning After Mobility. So we're on to episode 12 here, which is gonna give us some stuff to do for our elbows. So it's been an upper body day yesterday. Benching or shoulder pressing, or just your elbows suck in general. So what you're gonna need is a Voodoo band, average band, light band, and a rack to kind of set up our whole system here. What we're trying to do in this part here is obviously get the Voodoo band on that elbow, trying to capture high forearm, the elbow itself, low bicep, tricep. And the idea here is, when we're benching a lot, when we're doing any sort of extensions, the elbow likes to kind of get stuck. And there's going to be a point where we need it to actually go into at least extension where we're straight up and down, getting some sort of a 90 degrees. This isn't going to lend us much of anything, really. It's not a mechanical advantage, it's not a muscular advantage at all. The straighter we are, the more we can take advantage of what our muscles can do, but also what our skeleton can do, whether that's holding and bracing for a bench press, overhead, catching some sort of an Olympic movement, anything along those lines. So we need to have that elbow straight, and for a lot of people it's a big problem to get that elbow straight repeatedly. So this is going to help you go ahead and do that. So again, real nice tight wrap on the elbow, high forearm, elbow itself, low bicep, tricep. What we're going to do is we're going to take our average band, slide ourselves into it, put the band right at about the elbow itself, okay, right at the elbow joint. And then through the light band, we're going to take this. This is something really common. A lot of elbow stuff, we're going to think upstream, downstream is going to go ahead and lead to wrist stuff. So all of a sudden you're restricted in where your wrist movement can go as well, which again is going to go ahead and affect any sort of pressing movement that you're going to do, whether it's, bench press or overhead. So now, we got a lot of tension and a lot of shit going on here, right? We've got a big band pulling us here, little band pulling us here. We're going to try and get our hand here smashed out, and we're going to try and get this wrist distracted a little bit. So this band's going to go right on the joint itself. And the best thing to do is use your other hand, push that elbow out, get it to this position. Now we're going to go ahead and turn that elbow in, move our body here. We're just going to let some of the bands do the work. We're going to let it pull this way. See how much tension it is? It's almost pulling me over here. And that's going to go ahead and really work to straighten out that elbow itself. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and internally, externally rotate that arm a little bit, as you can kind of see, turning my elbow towards you, turning it away, the inside of that elbow. Just going to go ahead and work this, not as tight as this, obviously, just because it's got the poundage difference. You can wrap it around and get a little bit more if your wrist is really kind of bothering you. But this is just one more thing to do, just to kind of set that wrist a little bit while you're setting your elbow. Something else you can do while you're doing this, you can kind of pop your elbow back this way. Just feel a huge stretch in the wrist flexors here, so be careful not to overdo it. Flex, then kind of let it pull back, flex, let it pull back, rotate the arm, and you can also just start to move your body away, which is also going to give a huge stretch here and really put a ton of pressure on that elbow, and work to get it straightened out and get everything kind of put together here. You're going to try and, you can also kind of rock forward, rock backwards a little bit, do some circles. There's no real right or wrong here. It's just whatever's working and feeling good for you. A lot of this is just made up via, exploration and experimentation. So go ahead and take care of that. Just beware, any sort of really burning sensation, if your hand's going white, something really hurts, stop, and kind of move on to the next thing. But feel free to kind of figure out what's going to be best for you. Put it back online and let us know so we can go ahead and pass that on. As this thing grows and grows and grows, we'll have a really great database. So we're just going to kind of hold this for, anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes, depending on how much tension and how much you can handle. And then getting back out, you're going to lean on your elbow a lot, let that wrist go, and then come back here, let that elbow go, and then we're going to go ahead and take everything off. As you can see, I had a really nice tight wrap because that's where the band was. Pretty good, huh? So that's what I mean by a really nice suicide wrap where very little blood flow is going anywhere else. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that off. This is something to do when you're using the Voodoo band. Get it back out, work to get that blood flow back in systematically from your fingers all the way back up into your tricep. But that's something that's been very, very effective for me. Made sure my wrist is in place where I need it to. Make sure I can flex my elbow the way that I want to, both flex and extend my elbow. Usually I feel like it's getting stuck here. This is something that really just pulls that back in and lets me fully extend. If you guys can see kind of a difference from one to the other, I can tell how much better this is actually flexing and holding on my tricep opposed to this guy. So you guys should be able to really both see and feel a difference. So again, Voodoo band, light band, average band, rack, shitty elbow, put it all together, you got something magical. Thanks for watching, guys.